Alright, match number 1. We're on the draw. We can go turn 1 to Coddle, turn 2 crack the Evolving Wilds for a Plains, and attack with a 2-2. I think that's good enough. If we get really lucky and just top deck a Plains in the first 2 draws, that would be good too. Ooh, Elves, that's not great. We need to draw some Lightning Bolts or Tribal Flames very quickly so we can have some interaction. Otherwise, we will probably not be able to outrace them. Alright, there's a mountain. So let's just play the Coddle. Alright, luckily for us, Elvish Visionary is one of the slower starts for the 2-drop in the Elves slot. And they're offering the trade with Wild and Coddle. That's really odd. I think I have to count on the fact that this is so good, and our opponent knows that it's good, that it means they probably have another one in hand, and that this one isn't doing as much. So I think that I have to keep the Wild and Coddle. I think trading here will slow us down more than it will slow our opponent down. So I will just let them hit us. Ooh, a Lightning Bolt. So what do I do here? I think I have to wait on Lightning Bolt. If I play Lightning Bolt, that means I have to play the Mountain, which means that I once again can't cast a white spell next turn, which means I have nothing to do next turn. So I think that I just have to save the Lightning Bolt for like a Priest of Titania or a Timber Watch or something like that. I can save 2 damage or I can attack for 2. And I think I want to attack for 2. I want to try to race. I'm waiting to crack this just in case they think they can block with the Elvish Visionary, and then I surprise them. Alright, let's see how badly they can mess us up here and how many elves they can dump on the board this turn. When you're hitting your land drops, Korean Ranger is also worse because returning the forest doesn't let you have a free land drop if you're missing one, whenever you already have that land drop in hand. Sylvan Ranger, okay. Gonna go get their island so they can play their Distant Melody on 4. And a Nettle Sentinel. So if they do have the Distant Melody in hand, they can play it for 4 mana, 4 elves, and 4 cards next turn. They didn't attack here, which means they might be interested in double blocking, which is not consistent with them having Distant Melody in hand. Tribal Flames, okay. Does 3 damage right now. So I'm going to start with Kozali and an attack. And hope that they try to triple block me. Or quadruple block me and then just get the ultimate blowout. Now the question is, do I let them untap or do I kill a Korean Ranger now? The downside of waiting is that it lets them tap a forest and return the forest before I have priority again to kill a Korean Ranger. But they already have a land in hand. We knew from the island they searched up a Sylvan Ranger. So the Korean Ranger being alive isn't that big of a deal. Okay, so now Birchlore Rangers. Do I want to bolt now before they can start tapping things for mana? Most likely. What do I bolt? Korean Ranger or Nettle Sentinel? Nettle Sentinel is can attack this turn, and it gets really nuts with Birchlore Ranger. Korean Ranger is more nuts by itself. I think I'll just kill the bigger thing. Korean Ranger has the potential to be ridiculous with Priest of Titania, Timber Watch, but they haven't resolved either of those yet, so I'll just get rid of Nettle Sentinel, which is crazy with Birchlore. Really looking forward to the sideboard games when we'll have access to 3 copies of Electrickery. Well-Wisher, okay. And Viridian Longbow. Okay. Most likely we're going to lose. But we will see. Next turn, they have the ability to gain, that's 10 elves on the battlefield. Neither of my creatures are secretly elves, right? They have the ability to tap this, untap it with Quirion, tap it, gain 10 life. And at that point, we can't really win. Okay, so I've thought a lot about it. And these are my main targets right now. I need to assume my opponent doesn't have anything in hand. If I just get rid of Quirion Ranger, the life gain here and the pinging here is going to be pretty annoying. If I just get rid of Well-Wisher, the double pinging off the Quirion Ranger Viridian combo is going to be too annoying. Which means I have to get rid of one of these creatures and the Viridian Longbow. So I'm going to have to sacrifice this Quasali Pride Mage, kill the Viridian Longbow, waste a Tribal Flames to kill probably the Well-Wisher, since without the Viridian Longbow, the Quirion Ranger doesn't do that much, and then go from there. So if I'm sacrificing this and playing the Tribal Flames this turn, that leaves me with only one more mana, which means I'm most likely going to do that, use that to Abundant Growth. So let me enchant a Forest, just to see what I draw, in case it's relevant. Renegade Freighter, okay, that's a little bit too slow here. I get to attack for 4, and hopefully they just give me a creature for no reason. Well, really, hopefully they quadruple block, but they're not going to do that. Alright, and I can wait to kill the Longbow until after they equip. I can do it in response to force them to use the mana and force my hand. And there's no real option for me not untapping this for not killing this Well-Wisher, because then gaining 5 life is just too big of a deal. So we'll leave up the thing that can tap for anything. Well-Wisher down. And now we need them to have a bad turn. And definitely no Distant Melody. I can't beat Distant Melody because they have too much mana from this Birch Lore. They have 5, 6, 7 mana minimum. Okay, well, there's the Distant Melody that I can't beat. Alright, draw 4 cards. Hopefully they're all really bad. And then I somehow win in 2 turns to a top deck Tribal Flames twice in a row. Nettle Sentinel, okay. I'm really hoping they waste mana equipping this instead of casting things in their hand, but they probably see what I've done here, leaving up the mana for the Quasali activation, so. Another Birch Lore. It's not that scary. It's just a 1 mana 1 run right now because multiple instances of the Birch Lore ability doesn't matter. They have chump blockers for days, most likely. See if they have any actual action things in their hand. If they have like a Timber Watch or another Well-Wisher. Going down to 1 card in hand. And they're passing the turn. So the question is now, do I have to kill this Viridian now and use up the mana while I have it, or can I afford to keep this around for another turn cycle? And I think the answer is that I need to sacrifice right now. I've got some evasion, that's good. I want to attack, I believe. This is a good blocker, but I'm going to have other good blockers. And I really want to get in for 3 damage here if they'll let me. Because 3 damage plus 2 damage plus 5 is a win. Alright, they gave me an elf, unfortunately. I'll play a Core Skyfisher. Turn of Plains for blockers and for air support. I'm going to go with the Core Skyfisher. And the reason for that is I get to replay the Abundant Growth. And I think the extra draw is worth it. I was kind of wanting to lean toward Renegade Freighter because it can attack for 5, which 5 plus 5, as I keep saying, is what I need to kill them. I guess I should have drawn first before playing the second Core Skyfisher in case this changed my plans. Although I guess I couldn't do that because I had to pick up the planes first so I could reuse it. Unless I picked up... I don't know. Too much to think about. I need to play faster. Oh wow, they just played a land. Didn't they? Yeah, they just played a land and let me know they have absolutely nothing going on. All they have is their creatures on the field. So they have to draw like a Timber Watch or a Distant Melody to have anything going on. So I think we could actually win this game. Wild Nikotl. So we have 5 mana, we can play 2 things. Alright, let's start off by attacking for 4. I can actually attack for even more than that, I guess. Depends on what I'm playing this turn. I'm going to get in for 4. That leaves 6 that I need to get in for next turn. Assuming these will get in again, I just need 2 more damage. What's the best way to get 2 damage? Probably Trample. So I'll probably be playing Renegade Freighter and 1 creature. So do I want to leave stuff back to block? Or force them to trade off things? I don't think forcing them to trade off things does too much for me. I don't think staying back to block does too much either, though. So I think I'm going to attack. Let's be aggressive. I guess the downside of trading this off is that it can't crew Renegade Freighter if they trade off with it, but I think they're just going to chump it. If they actually gave me 2 things or 3 things, that would have been an okay outcome as well. Play Renegade Freighter. And do I want Quizali or Wild Nikotl? Either one crews the Freighter. Quizali is a little bit more mana efficient. I don't think it matters either way. Well, let's go with the mana efficient play. Alright, can they draw Distant Melody this turn? That's basically the question. I don't think anything else is high impact enough. Nope, just another Quarian Raider. Okay, they're going to have to give a lot of stuff to this Trampler. Or just be dead. They're also dead to burn here. 4 damage plus a Bolt or a Tribal Flames. Alright, no burn. Yeah, I think that wipes their board. It only allows them to trade off with like one of our things. Okay. Yeah, they have to go block, block. And then 5 things. They have to put at least 3 things in front of it if one of them is the Nettle Sentinel. I think even if they draw a Distant Melody, we have them beat now. Because they can't kill us in 1 turn. And they can't stop the core Skyfishers from killing them on the subsequent turn. They need to put 1 more thing there. Okay, so they put 1 more thing there. They're trading with the Renegade Freighter and taking a damage from it. Now they chump. Now they chump. And they're left with 2 Birch Lore Rangers. Oh, no, they're dead. They didn't block the last Quizali Pride Mage. Oh well, even so. Even if they had blocked, they would have been with only 2 Elves left, and they'd be at 1 life, so. Alright, on the sideboard. So now we just have to win 1 sideboard game. Definitely want these Electricities. Pyroblast only hits the Distant Melody, so I'm not going to bring it in. I'd rather stop them before they get to the point where they can Distant Melody. And what are the 3 things I'm going to take out? What's the slow stuff against them? Makarite Tears is probably the worst. Even if it was always a 3 mana 5/5, it's probably the worst. It doesn't interact with their board in any way, and they can chump it with 1/1s. Alright, no Electricity. We have turn 1 Curt Ape, turn 2 Tribal Flames. Turn 3, we've probably drawn a untapped green by then, hopefully. And then play Abundant Growth into Nikotl. This hand is not good. And also, right now, this is just going to be a 1/1, even on turn 2, because I'm going to have to play an untapped land. Specifically, I don't have a forest, so it'd have to be a plains or a mountain. Basically, all this has going for it is 1 removal spell. And a bad creature and 2 uncastable things. So I think I have to mulligan. Alright, still no Electricity, but I think I have to keep this 6. No thank you. Alright, so I can play the turn 1 Ape, or I can have the turn 2 Tribal Flames set up. You know what I just realized? Abundant Growth doesn't actually give me domain. I am so dumb. That's only Nylea's Presence. You'd think I would have realized this before. Alright. Get myself a forest for this abundant growth. And I really need to kill this Elvish Vanguard before it gets out of control. So what do? I could play Curdate plus Abundant Growth, and then I could wait. Elvish Vanguard is going to get nuts. Yeah, I think I just have to Tribal Flames the Vanguard now, unfortunately. There's a lot of other high priority targets as well, but I don't have a plan to get rid of this Vanguard if they put a couple counters on it, so I feel like I have to get rid of it. And just hope to draw into more removal. Okay. Mana Elf, another Sentinel. Gonna kill me fast even if they don't go nuts with like a Timberwatch. Alright, Druid Plains. So I could play... What can I play? I think I have to cycle and look for something better. Alright. I think I'm just going to keep on cycling. This is a good blocker right now. And it gives me my abundant growth back. Sylvan Ranger finds the island. Viridian Longbow. Quarian Ranger, so they can start using the Viridian twice a turn, so I'm probably going to have to Quasali it away. They're down to one card in hand, so if I can get rid of this Quasali and they have nothing to do, I could be okay. So I need to play Quasali, and what else can I do this turn? I guess I can play Curdate. No, I need to leave a mana open. I could Abundant Growth the Evolving Wilds, just to cycle, and then play Quasali with a mana open. I think I'm going to do that. Abundant Growth there. Make care not to sacrifice that later. Play my Quasali. Have the sacrifice ability open. And then probably use it at the end of this turn. I have to stay back because I'm not winning this damage race even if I hit for 3. This is keeping back the 2/3s. No, this 2/3 keeping back the 2/2s rather. And hope they don't draw a distant melody anytime soon. Okay. That's the signal for me to do that. Because otherwise they ping the Core Skyfisher and then it can't block this turn and then I take 4 damage. And that's not even counting the fact that they could untap it. Alright, they activated Quarian Ranger, played an Elvish Vanguard with 1 card in hand. A little bit less scary now that they're just drawing to 2 cards. But still somewhat scary. I need to draw an Electrickery like now so I can wipe out these 4 things and win the game. Or have a chance at winning the game at least. Okay, well I need to draw an Electrickery or I'm going to lose. I can't win a fair game. I just can't. So I'm going to Core Skyfisher back the Evolving Wilds. Or play the Abundant Growth. And then still have Electrickery mana open somehow. So yeah, I need to tap this for green. Play the Skyfisher. Pick that up. Play my forest. Enchant. What do I want to enchant? Probably this in case I want to play 2 red spells like 2 Curdapes. If I don't draw the Electrickery. Oh yes. Oh yes. Sweet redemption. There we go. Okay, then. So now what do? Do I race? 4, 4, 4, 4? I think it's not wise to start racing until I have things that can block until I get these 2/3s down. Timberwatch Elf, okay? Well, that's going to mess up my blocking a lot. Let's see if I draw a removal for Timberwatch. So like Pride Mage, that's not removal. This is going to give +3/+3, which is going to kill me really fast. It's probably actually going to give +4/+4/+5/+5. So let's be generous and say they only have one elf in hand, plus the card they're drawing, and they have one land. So that's going to be a 6/6. I probably need to triple block it to get an elf off the table. I don't think I can win if I triple block it, though. So I guess I just play 1, 2. It's nice to get the Renegade Trader down first, but that messes up my mana too much. Let's go get another mountain. And I think I have to start racing, because I don't think I can afford to double and triple block. If they have no elves in hand and can only make it a 5/5, then it would be wise for me to triple block because they could only get rid of one thing. Which it looks like is the case because they just passed without casting anything. I might be about to win this game. Alright, Abundant Growth. I think I enchant a mountain. I'm not going to need 2 red sources this turn. Lightning Bolt. Okay, that's very good. Let's go ahead and bash for 4 in the air. Although I could also Curd Ape. And then whenever they go to... Yeah, I'm not going to do that though. Because they could just double block and then I'd have to make the first move. And I'd get blown out. I don't want to trade a 2/3 with a 2/2 even if it is an elf and mine isn't. So I could play the Lightning Bolt here on my turn. The problem is they could just save from the Lightning Bolt, so I have to wait. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do that. I have to wait for them to make the first move with Timberwatch. I have drawn really well and they have drawn really poorly. But sometimes that's what you need in order to beat Elves. Aerial Volley. Oh my goodness. Alright, they take out one thing. Can't do anything about that. Alright, play my creature. And then if I crew this, that'll be 5. Plus 8 is 13. That'll be lethal. That'll force them to make the first move. And I'm not dead on the crackback, basically no matter what. So let's do it. They have to make the first move with Timberwatch. They have no good blocks whatsoever. And if they block too lightly, I can just Lightning Bolt the face to finish them off. Alright, so I'm just going to pass priority here because they're dead on board. Actually, not quite dead on board, but you get the idea. They'd go to 1 and lose a creature for no reason. Now I have to do this, because hitting the face isn't good enough because I'm only attacking for 8. Alright, well, Elves definitely drew poorly. Not the fault of the Elves player at all. But I think we played to our outs, and we played the only way that we could, and we hoped they drew poorly, and we got lucky that they did. In general, I don't think we have a great matchup versus Elves. 3 Electricity in the sideboard helps, but only 8 spells that remove creatures main deck is not a ton. And they can chump block our bigger threats, mostly, and just go wider than us, so... Maybe it's not as bad of a matchup as I think, but I don't think we're advantaged by any means. So glad we took it down and we are on to the next match.